Hello and welcome to Talking About It. I'm John Griffith.
I'm Cara Kilduff. I'm back.
Yay!
What's up, everybody? It's been a year.
So how's the baby?
Oh, she's good. She's real good. She's walking now. No, I did not have a baby. Oh, Lord.
We've been spreading that rumor for a year.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
Jerk.
So where were you?
I was all over this great land of ours, and it was quite a journey. Woo-wee.
So I'm sure you picked up some stories. So you were touring with
Oh, I was. For those of you that don't know, I was gone for a year. I was touring with the National Broadway tour of The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. I was the production's animal wrangler, and I just had dinner with some crewmates last night because they're in town working before they go out on their next tours, and so it was kind of bittersweet. I was like, oh, I don't want them to go, but yeah, so I made some wonderful friends. I had great experiences. I remained a Jedi Knight in some regards.
It was a great time. I learned a lot, and I never ever want to do it again.
I did learn a lot. I learned an awful lot. I learned they taught me. I had the best crew, I think, not that I know, but they taught me how to think like a stagehand.
Okay.
And which cracks me up because I came home with a trunk and I got it up into my apartment and I was repacking it and I started putting things back and I stopped myself. I looked, I started laughing. I'm like, oh man, they taught me how to think like a stagehand because everything was like maximizing every square inch. Better crew than ours. No, Renee. They're putting up messages on the
teleprompter.
Yeah, the teleprompter because we use that a lot. No, they were wonderful, wonderful. Oh, you know what? You think he's putting up rump in capitals.
T rump.
Yeah, he's. It's a dinosaur with tiny hands. Oh.
That's his rap name. That's his hood name. Yo, this is T rump.
Oh, Lord have mercy. It was a great year. It was great. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to drive a lot. Woo!
As a New York City transplanted person, you don't get to do it a lot around the city.
No, I had a great time. I got a rental car for LA for 6 weeks, and I was a champ by the end. You have to drive offensively and defensively at the same time.
Yes. So, What was your favorite city?
I have a list in my head of places I want to go back to. Minneapolis was fantastic. It's a great town. Pittsburgh was very surprising.
Okay.
I would totally go back there. Philly, which is so close to us. I forgot that I could just take a bus.
Take a bus for $5 and.
Yeah, so I'm totally gonna go back because there was a whole bunch of stuff I missed there.
They have a lot of good stuff around the holidays. They have this little Christmas village and things like that. So
there was some other market I was supposed to hit up, but Dallas, Texas, I had a blast. The women that worked in the marketing department at the Winspear Opera House. Mm-hmm. We became real good friends, and those women are nuts. And they were real sweet to me. And because I had to do a lot, I did press for the show, so I met with those people because there were a lot of early morning pickups at hotels, and I'd be handed a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. What else? What other cities did I enjoy? Everyone's high in Denver.
That's an altitude joke, right?
Yeah, sure it is. Oh, altitude sickness is no joke, though. It's real.
Really?
Yeah, my brother was going to Denver for a conference or something, and I told him, I said, hey, it's no joke, and he tried to brush it off, and I was like, listen, jackass, I was just there. Mm-hmm. I actually do know something.
Yeah, you need
Little sister's right for once.
You have to rest and get acclimated for a little bit, and then go about your business.
Yeah, and I loved LA. Loved it.
Okay.
Loved it.
That's one of those cities where you either really love it or you really want to run like hell.
Yeah, I loved it. I had a great time. I saw lots of friends. Friends of the show.
Yes, actually, I saw on Twitter that you just missed her, but Liz Glazer sat in for you a couple of times.
Yes!
And she's out in LA now, and I think you missed her just by a few days.
Yeah, I was pissed that just, but I saw Jackie Monahan out there. I saw Gloria Bigelow. I saw Leah Doobie. Oh, God, Adam. I'm brain farting on his last name. Adam, if you're watching, I'm farting on your last. You're my Kang, and I can't remember his last name.
Not Ludacy? No.
No. Lucidi? No.
Lucidi.
No. Oh my gosh.
But that guy, Adam.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, his name is just Adam now. We're just going to forget about the last name. It's like, rebrand yourself.
Anyway, saw a lot of people, made new friends. It was great.
Okay, awesome.
So being back in the city is a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the 7 at rush hour after not doing it for a year is a little frightening.
It's an experience.
There was some... I have to talk about these things. So there was this passive-aggressive mommy with her child, and, maybe I'm a jerk, but she really thought that I was going to get up for her child, and I wasn't. And then some guy got up, because it's always women that give their seats. And so this guy gets up, and then she says, yeah, excuse me, could you guys move down so we could sit here? My girlfriend and I had scored prime subway seats. And we were like, ugh. And then the bitch got off 2 stops later. Seriously? Your child, really?
That's nuts. It must be the day, because I take the bus here from my house. And yeah, it's I'm not I try to be courteous with my cell phone on the bus or on the above ground trains. And this woman, she was sitting right behind me. She was a loud phone talker.
No.
And the conversation was in Creole. So not only was it loud, but I couldn't eavesdrop.
Oh, but it must have sounded nice.
It didn't. It's an acquired taste.
Oh, I probably would have enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, I would have enjoyed it. Well, it would, because it was right in my ear.
Oh.
And
it was real loud.
It was real loud. She was a loud talker. It's more that she was a loud talker, and not. Yeah, I have no issue with people speaking their prime language. It's just that I was more annoyed that it was loud and I couldn't understand it to eavesdrop on it, which is more frustrating for me. It's if you're going to annoy me by talking loud, at least let me eavesdrop and give me some juicy stuff to pass on. This was a conversation in Creole, and I have no goods to share with you.
I used to work with this woman a million years ago, Miss Ruthie, and she passed a bunch of years back, but she was our coat check woman at this restaurant I worked at, and I loved her so much. She was so salty. Anyway, she had a couple of drinks after work one night, and she was talking about being on the bus, and she's like, I swear to God, and people were not speaking English, and she got really upset, and she said, it sounds like a bunch of fucking chickens on the bus. And I was like, Ruthie, no! It was real funny. You all can't you weren't there, but it was real funny because she was real salty. But I think of that sometimes, and I sit there and I'm like,
that's funny.
I giggle.
Unless it's an act of rudeness, I have no issue. It's if there are 4 of us in a conversation and then somebody, just to exclude me, switches languages, then I'm insulted and it bothers me. But if somebody's just talking a private conversation, it doesn't bother me so much, unless it's something like this where I wanted to eavesdrop.
Well, I like listening to people just because I like to pick up whatever accent it is.
Okay.
Because that's my thing. But
okay.
Yeah, so it was a harrowing trip to Flushing, Queens.
Okay.
And then these people walking around with their damn umbrellas trying to impale my eyeball on their umbrella. And so I was behind this guy and I said something. And he was like, he took his umbrella down. I was like, thank you.
Oh my God. A few months ago, it was just nasty rainy day, and I'm coming from Roosevelt Field Mall, and it's like the last stop of a bus, and it's a change point for the drivers, and the driver who was getting off, it was pouring rain. There was a line of 20 or 30 people who wanted to get on the bus, and he wouldn't let anyone on the bus until the new driver was in place. He logged out as quickly as possible when it would have just taken him 30 seconds to swap out. And as people tried to come in, he was like nasty, rude guy. It's like, So I had my umbrella. I was in the front of the line, and as he's finally slowly coming off of the bus, you know how sometimes some water pools in your umbrella? It accidentally ended up on his head. So he got a little wet. Oops, sorry. That wouldn't have happened if I were on the bus. Sorry.
Oops. Oh, we were coming here, and so my girlfriend doesn't live here, and you know that spot when you're that tunnel when you're coming to the 7 train from either the 1 or the ACE.
Yes.
You know, and the religious people are always there.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this woman who was straight up screaming at people, telling them they were going to hell. Like, I guess going up to people. She had a sign, and then she had this bib on. My girlfriend looked at her, and she just burst out laughing, which made me start laughing. So we're walking down the stairs, and all these people looking at us. And she says, kind of loud, I've never seen something so ridiculous in my whole life. I was dying laughing. And then I said something. She's like, well, what? I've never seen anything like that before. It was real funny. And then I said, well, I hope she's there on her way back. But her point was, well, that's clocking in a lot of hours of hatred, so she might not be there.